Hey, listen. Welcome back to Hey Listen. Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal periods in ancient history, the story of Athens. From their brilliant victory at the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE to their eventual defeat and fall to Macedon in 323 BCE, Athens had a profound impact on the world that echoes through history. Before there was democracy in the United States, before the Renaissance sparked Europe's intellectual revival, Athens was already a beacon of culture, philosophy, and military prowess. In this episode, we'll explore how Athens rose from a small city-state to an empire, how its golden age laid the foundation for Western culture, and how, eventually, it succumbed to the rise of Macedon and the greatness of Alexander the Great. Our story begins in 490 BCE. The Persian Empire, under King Darius I, was growing ever stronger and had already expanded across much of the known world. The Persian desire to expand westward brought them to the Greek world. The Persian king sought not just revenge for Athens' role in the Ionian Revolt, but also aimed to solidify his hold on the Mediterranean. After Athens supported the Ionian Revolt in Asia Minor, Darius had no choice but to act. With his massive army and fleet, the Persians set their sights on Athens, aiming to punish the city-state for its defiance. But Athens was not going to bow down. Under the command of General Miltiades, Athens faced the Persian army at the plains of Marathon, around 26 miles from Athens. The Persians were vastly outnumbered. Estimates say the Persian army consisted of about 25,000 men, while the Athenians had only around 10,000. Yet, the Athenians, led by their brilliant general, used strategic brilliance to overcome the odds. Miltiades feigned weakness in the center of the Athenian line, drawing in the Persians, only to close the gap and attack them from both sides. The disciplined hoplite formation turned the tide, trapping the Persians and delivering a crushing defeat. The battle was a resounding success for Athens. The Persian losses were catastrophic. 6,400 Persians died, compared to just 192 Athenian casualties. This victory not only secured Athens' survival, but also marked the beginning of Athens' rise as a dominant power in the Greek world. Marathon wasn't just a military victory. It had deep cultural and symbolic significance. It established Athens as a symbol of Greek unity and resilience in the face of a mighty empire. The hoplite phalanx, a symbol of Greek strength, would remain a model of warfare for generations. Despite this resounding victory, the Persians were not done. In 480 BCE, King Darius I's son, Xerxes, launched another invasion of Greece. This time, the stakes were even higher. After a small Greek force, including the legendary Spartan king Leonidas, was defeated at Thermopylae, the Persians advanced toward Athens. The city was evacuated, and soon after, it was captured and sacked by Xerxes' army. The city of Athens was twice captured and devastated by the Persians. But the Athenians were not yet defeated. Under the leadership of Themistocles, Athens turned to its naval strength. In a pivotal naval engagement, the Athenians, aided by their allies, confronted the Persian fleet at the Battle of Salamis. Despite the Persians' numerical advantage, Athens emerged victorious, delivering a decisive blow to Xerxes' forces and shifting the momentum of the war. In 479 BCE, the Greek forces, led by Athens and Sparta, decisively defeated the Persian army at the Battle of Plataea. With the Persians finally repelled from Greece, Athens and its allies were free to turn their attention to other goals. With these triumphs in hand, Athens took the lead in creating the Delian League, an alliance of Greek city-states formed to protect against future Persian invasions. Over time, however, this alliance would evolve into an Athenian-dominated empire. These victories enabled Athens to bring most of the Aegean and many other parts of Greece together in the Delian League, an Athenian-dominated alliance. After the Persian invasion, Athens' power began to grow. With the threat of Persia largely defeated, Athens took the opportunity to lead the Greek world in defending against future invasions. In 478 BCE, Athens helped form the Delian League, an alliance of Greek city-states dedicated to collective defense. The League initially started as a defensive pact, and the treasury was placed on the island of Delos. But over time, Athens began to exert more and more influence over the League, using its naval superiority to enforce its will. Athens, now the undisputed leader, moved the treasury from Delos to Athens and began to dictate terms to its allies. The Delian League, which was meant to be a mutual defense alliance, was transformed into an Athenian empire. The city-state demanded tribute, supplies, and military support from the other members, many of whom began to resent the growing Athenian dominance. Under leaders like Themistocles, Cimon, and Pericles, Athens became not just a military superpower but also a cultural hub. The wealth of the Delian League funded grand projects, including the rebuilding of the Parthenon after the destruction wrought by the Persians. Athens also used the League's resources to build one of the most formidable navies in the ancient world. But Athens' imperialism was not without its challenges. The growing resentment of other Greek city-states, particularly Sparta, set the stage for inevitable conflict. This increasing tension would eventually lead to the Peloponnesian War. By 431 BCE, the stage was set for the most destructive war in Greek history, the Peloponnesian War. It was a battle not just for control over Greece, but also for competing ways of life. Athens' democratic and imperial system against Sparta's military oligarchy. Under the leadership of Pericles, Athens adopted a strategy that focused on naval dominance. Pericles knew Athens could not stand up to Sparta's superior hoplite army, so he relied on his navy to secure resources and avoid land combat. Pericles encouraged the people of Athens to retreat within the city walls, which were connected to the sea. He hoped that the navy would allow them to maintain supplies and make raids against the Peloponnesian coast. But Athens was struck by tragedy. In 430 BCE, a plague ravaged the city, killing Pericles and thousands of others. This devastated Athens both militarily and politically, weakening the city and its resolve. In 415 BCE, Athens embarked on an ambitious expedition to Sicily, hoping to expand its influence and weaken its enemies. The plan, however, backfired disastrously. Poor planning and internal divisions led to Athens suffering a humiliating defeat. The loss of men, resources, and ships left Athens in a perilous position. The final blow came in 405 BCE at the Battle of Aegospotami, where Athens was decisively defeated by the Spartan fleet, aided by Persian funding. By 404 BCE, Athens had no choice but to surrender, marking the end of the Peloponnesian War and the collapse of Athenian dominance. After the war, Sparta imposed an oligarchic regime known as the 30 Tyrants on Athens. However, this regime was short-lived, and Athens eventually restored its democracy, but it was a shadow of its former self. Despite the military struggles, Athens experienced a golden age in the 5th century BCE, thanks to its intellectual, artistic, and philosophical achievements. Philosophy, in particular, flourished in Athens. The legendary Socrates began to teach, encouraging Athenians to question everything: morality, knowledge, politics, and even the nature of existence. His ideas were radical for the time. Socrates' student Plato would go on to create the Academy, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. Through his dialogues, Plato explored the nature of justice, the ideal state, and the philosopher king, which would have a lasting influence on political theory. In drama, playwrights like Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides used the stage to explore deep human questions about fate, justice, and the gods. Their tragedies are still performed today, providing timeless insights into the human condition. Athens also produced some of the most remarkable art and architecture the world has ever seen. The Parthenon, dedicated to the goddess Athena, was not just a temple but a symbol of Athens' grandeur, its wealth, and its devotion to its gods. While Athens struggled to maintain its place in the Greek world, a new power was rising in the north, Macedon. Under King Philip II, Macedon underwent a military revolution that would change the fate of Greece forever. Philip II transformed Macedon from a relatively obscure kingdom into a military powerhouse. Through his reforms, including the creation of the Macedonian phalanx, a new type of military formation, Philip was able to defeat the Greek city-states in battle. In 338 BCE, Philip faced Athens and Thebes at the Battle of Chaeronea. Despite a valiant effort, Athens and Thebes were crushed, and Philip became the undisputed master of Greece. Upon Philip's assassination in 336 BCE, his son, Alexander the Great, ascended to the throne. In the years that followed, Alexander would conquer the Persian Empire, Egypt, and parts of India, spreading Greek culture and ideas across 3 continents. Around 334 BCE, Alexander began his campaign to defeat the Persian Empire. The battles of Granicus, Issus, and Gaugamela marked key victories that shattered Persian power and gave Alexander control over vast territories. Though Alexander's empire was short-lived, his conquest marked the beginning of the Hellenistic era, a period where Greek culture spread throughout the East, creating a new fusion of East and West. From the heroic victory at Marathon to the eventual fall under Macedonian rule, Athens' story is one of triumph, tragedy, and transformation. The city's intellectual achievements, its art, and its political innovations laid the groundwork for the Western world as we know it today. Though the glory of Athens waned, its legacy remains immortal. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know your favorite part of Athenian history in the comments below. See you in the next one.